All right, we are on Mod 5, Lesson 2, and we're going to look at how number bonds help us with tape models and help us to decompose fractions in different ways. What I have in front of me here is I have a whole decomposed into 4 parts. If you could go ahead and write your addition sentence to represent this, do it now, pause. If you came up with this, then you are correct, because there are 4 parts, and they are each 1/4, but they all equal 1. There are other ways to decompose 1 into fourths. See if you can bond some of our fourths or combine some of our fourths to make 2 other number bonds. Pause and try to make 2 different ways besides this one to show fourths adding up to a whole. Pause. Don't forget to write your number sentences as well. All right, here's one that I've created. This is my first one. I've broken my fourths, or bonded my fourths, into 2/4 and 2/4. Here's my addition sentence. If you have that one, give yourself a check, smiley face, or whatever. And here's my other. I bonded 3 of the fourths into 3/4 and a fourth. And that's what my bond looks like. My number sentence, give yourself a smiley face. Now I would like you to take one of the 2 sheets of paper that I've given you. I would like you to make it represent one of your bonds. I don't care which one you choose. I think I'm going to choose C. So what I would do is I'm going to fold my paper into fourths, and I'm going to represent C. Pause. Here is my representation of C. I have 3/4 and 1/4. I cut them into fourths. I hope you remember to partition with your straight line. What I'd like you to do now is I'd like you to flip your paper over. You're going to have writing on it, and that's okay. We're going to turn this into eighths. My suggestion is fold it the way it was folded, just like we did with our thirds yesterday, and just fold it in half again. Take your ruler and trace your lines to make eighths. Pause while you do that. You should have gotten 8 pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Please go ahead and shade in 7 of your 8 parts, and then write down a number sentence that shows how you decomposed your number strip. Shading 7 of the 8 parts, and I want a number sentence decomposing. Pause. This is what you should have. 7 pieces shaded, 1 not, and here's a possible number sentence. What we're going to do is we're going to actually break ours down by bonding some of our unit fractions together. It doesn't really matter how you bond them together, but I'm going to bond them together this way. I'm going to take the first 3, so that's 7/8 equals 3/8 plus, and then I'm going to bond the next 4 plus 4/8. You can see that that's one way to bond them. You could bond them a variety of different ways. Think about that for just a second and pause while you're thinking about it. Here are some possibilities you might have come up with. 2/8, 2/8, 2/8, 1/8, or 5/8 and 2/8. Regardless of how you bond your eighths, regardless of how you write your number sentence, what do they all have in common? They all equal 7/8. It doesn't matter how you break it apart. All right, go ahead. All right, you are now going to take your next piece of paper and you're going to turn it into sixths. Remember how we did this the other day? It's kind of trial and error. Fold but don't crease. Fold again till you match it up. Then you can crease. That's thirds. To make sixths, we just fold it in half again. I would like you to figure out a way to decompose 5/6. You need to write out how you decompose 5/6 into a number bond and a number sentence, and then go find somebody else who has done it differently than you. Pause while you do this. Good luck. Here are some possibilities of what you may have found with a partner. The last thing I'm going to ask you to do is to actually decompose the fraction 5/4. But I don't want you to use a number bond. I want you to use a tape model. remembering that you need a whole if your number is larger on the top, because 5/4 is bigger than 1 whole. I'll give you an example of what I mean. If I create a whole, and I know I'm dealing with fourths, so I need to cut it into fourths. But look, I only have 1, 2, 3, 4 fourths. I represent that by calling that 1 whole. That's 4 fourths. But I want 5 fourths, so I need to actually add on another block, which is the same size as the rest. Since this is my whole, I count those pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4. So these are 4 fourths plus one more is 5 fourths, which would look a little like this. 1/4 plus 1/4 plus 1/4 plus 1/4 plus 1/4, if I was just using unit fractions. What I would like you to do is create a new tape model, and this time bracket off the bottoms into bonded unit forms, the bonded unit fractions. So I don't want to see this from you. I want to see you representing it a different way. If you need help, find a partner to help you with this, or raise your hand and I can come help you. Go ahead and pause. All right, here's one possible example. You could have bonded these fourths to make 2 fourths, bonded these fourths to make 2 fourths, and then had one left. 2 through 4, 5 fourths. You could have also done this one. You could have bonded 3 fourths and 2 fourths. Again, remember, I know it's fourths because this is what represents my 1 whole. So these are 4 pieces, so I'm dealing with fourths. So 5 fourths equals 3 fourths plus 2 fourths. Or another way could have been this one. Again, this is my whole, and I have 4 pieces in my whole. And if I bonded all of those, that's 4 fourths or 1 whole. And then my last is 1/4. So 5 fourths equals 1 whole plus 1/4. Those are your options. Go ahead and find a partner to work on your problem set with.